she needs to take off her shirt.
Everyone is saying that's gonna create financial crisis across the world, including Dubai, similar to what happened in 2008. Personally, I totally disagree with that.
What do you think's changed in the last like 20 to 30 years?
If you go back to, let's say, the Stone Age, men were meant to provide and also at the same time to protect. Women were meant to take care of the household.
Unfortunately, lots of women are not women anymore.
100%.
We need to unplug the real Mohammad Baydoun.
Yalla, go ahead.
Well, she needs to take off her shirt.
Yes.
Show us how ripped he is.
Yeah.
Man, we are in the Middle East. We cannot do that on camera.
Who said
Who said? This-
that?
Like, fine, if you insist,
I
guys.
do insist.
Yes. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the very first episode of Unplugged. Today with me is my great friend Luay. Hello, Luay.
Thank you, Khaldoon.
And of course, the one and only Hisham.
Thank you, Khaldoon.
And today we're gonna be unplugging a very interesting character, an influencer, a real estate person or persona, actually. Today we're gonna be unplugging Dr. Mohammad Baydoun. Welcome, Doctor.
Thank you, Habibi. My pleasure.
It's great having you. We're blessed to have you as our first guest. And thank you for joining us.
Thank you, guys, for inviting me. It's my pleasure.
Great. Well, gentlemen, 2025 is over, huh?
Almost.
Almost.
Yeah.
Lots of highlights.
Yeah.
Lots of things happen. And the very last thing that I just heard was that there was an AI sales agent in Portugal that have already done $100 million
Wow.
worth of deals.
Oof.
Yes.
Okay, that's a precedent.
Please tell me you're not replacing us with the AI.
I don't think it will happen.
Why not?
I'll tell you, because look, real estate is a highly emotional process. I'll give you a story. What's your mobile?
It's an iPhone.
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 iPhone. Do you believe, guys, iPhone is the best product in the market? Technologically, specs-wise.
It's the best I know.
It's the best from a convenience perspective, but it's not the best technologically. Look at Samsung, Huawei. They beat Samsung anytime. They beat iPhone anytime, any day.
True.
From a specs perspective. But we all keep buying iPhone each and every year. Do you know why it's the case?
Comfort.
Marketing.
Do you know how the human brains biologically, forget about the psychology that we teach in real estate, biologically decides to purchase an object? The human brain is composed of two sections, Homo sapiens and limbic.
Wow.
Homo sapiens is responsible for all the logical analysis, like the color of the product, specifications, so on and so forth. However, the limbic brain is responsible for pushing the green button for you to purchase an object. That's why you go to a mall, a sales guy will give you all the logical reasons to purchase his product. Then you say, you know what, not feeling like it. He can be a very good salesperson, but he's not a great salesperson. A great salesperson will understand that sales is also about emotions, which is connected to your limbic brain and your purpose. That's why we keep buying iPhone over and over again.
Interesting.
Because we're convinced it's all about creativity, convenience. It's about also security, which resonates very well with the purpose of most of the human beings. If you want to apply this in the context of real estate purchase is highly emotional. People think it's just about the numbers. No, numbers are important, don't get me wrong. But it's not only about the numbers. There's the emotional side. You need to understand the needs of your buyer, their requirements, what are their challenges on daily basis, and how your product reflect that, and how you can mix and match between the product and their needs and their requirements. That's why I believe that's a highly emotional process. No, I don't believe an AI can be replacing that.
Interesting.
Can I just add to, I agree with you because I've had this discussion many times over, but also I remember when Uber came around and, you know, when they told you book an Uber and it'll come, and I was like, no way, who's going to do that? And look today, we all are booking on Uber, and you will never pick up the phone call and call a taxi anymore. However, a large segment is emotional, but I think there will be a segment of the market, I think potentially will go online to a page through maybe an AI guidance and purchase. I don't think it will be the complete process or 100%.
But
I
will you
think
ever take a driverless taxi?
You see, by the way, in China...
Because AI, you know, you're not really communicating with someone that's going to connect with you on a human level.
Yeah.
They're going to give you definitely facts, figures. They're going to be sharing with you statistics, trends. But at the end of the day, it's something you're moving into or you're investing for the generations to come, and that's where the controversy also lies.
Yeah, but in China now, in Guangzhou and Shenzhen, there's driverless taxis, and I think next year they're bringing it to Dubai. They're doing the testing of it, so let's see how it's gonna work.
I believe there are some already in Masdar City in Abu Dhabi.
They're testing,
Yeah.
they're testing, but I just still think that we should fight the AI advancement, and because honestly, there will be a lot of challenges, and relying just on systems and computers and people starting to get laid off is actually not good for society. It'll create other job opportunities without a doubt, but I just think real estate is very emotional, like Dr. Baydoun said.
Interesting.
I'm not attacking you, بس لنكون واضحين يعني.
Yeah, because
Sharing my opinion.
he's so much into AI. I thought he would be the first person to adapt all this.
I wanted to ask you, Doctor, like how do you see AI changing? Because I've got my personal what do you call it? What I believe is going to happen in the next 5-10 years. What are your thoughts about AI and the changes it's going to adapt? You're in real estate, you're in fitness, you're in many different things. How do you see AI changing the way you do business, or how things are going to change in the world today?
Look, I'll give you a real life example. Obviously, I'm an architect, right? As you know, guys. Even in architecture, there was a lot of development across the years in the tools that we use for architectural design. Let's go backwards like 60, 70 years ago, when people used to use the, what they call it, the feather, in order to use, and the Chinese ink in order to draw all of those technical drawings. Later on, the rotary pen got developed, which makes things way easier, and people thought that's revolutionary. Then in the 90s, where Windows came out, AutoCAD became very popular, and we started using it in designing different projects. And that gave the opportunity for the architects to become more creative, because they spent less time on producing, more time on being creative. You've seen the new Guggenheim Museum in Bilbao, the one designed by Frank Gehry.
I've been watching the one in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Actually, the one in Abu Dhabi, it's an evolution of the original one.
Okay.
That's in Bilbao. The architect is called Frank Gehry. He was my favorite architect when I was a student at the School of Architecture. The way he designed the original one, because he designed it back in the 90s. At that point in time, you didn't have as much technological advancement in today. So the guy had to use the same software that the NASA uses to design their space ships, because it studies the aerodynamism aspect of the spaceship, and he applied the same thing on the structure of his building. And that's why he managed to transform his sketch into an architectural reality. Now he had another challenge, which is finding the titanium required, because the whole building is cladded with titanium. Separate story altogether. Now, later on, the Revit came out, by which you don't design the buildings in terms of lines. Let me explain. On AutoCAD, the wall is actually 2 lines. In Revit, it's not. It's a wall. The software reads it as a wall with finishes, with specs that you put from day one. So that will allow you, the moment you build the whole 3D model, in just 1 second, you can create as many drawings as you want for all the plans, all the sections, all the elevations. Now, AI, it changed the way I do business for the last year and a half. How? Because now there are softwares that will help me in test fitting new plots that I want to purchase, to study the possibilities. Is it perfect? It's far from being perfect, because the AI doesn't understand the commercial logic behind it. But still, it's cutting off some corners, helping us, speeding up the process. At the ideation level, as you know, I put all the briefs of the projects in DAMAC. Before, I used to give the brief to my guys, and they used to look in the internet for pictures that will be similar to the ideas that I just gave them as part of the brief. Now they use AI, and they use the prompt. They use my input as a prompt in order to generate the images. Even when I render the project, the last touches of rendering are done through AI. Does it replace the work of an architect? Not yet. Why? Because still you need the architect to put the vision. The prompt, who's going to put it? You need a human being that's smart, that's creative. So that's helping me in becoming more efficient and effective and producing projects at a quicker amount of time with less resources, but it doesn't replace the creativity and the mind of the architect. Not yet, at least.
True.
Very interesting. So I think AI, let's all agree, AI is actually one of the main highlights that, and the evolutions that happened during 2025. And of course, we cannot forget what was happening in Gaza and the whole Trump thing and the effect on the market. What are your thoughts? What is the, Do you think that we are living in the effect of what happened in Gaza? With the ceasefire, things are more quiet now. Things are hopefully more settled. Shoo, Luay, what are your thoughts on this?
I mean,
Market-wise, I want you to relate to the market. We're in the business. We're in the real estate industry, and everybody who's watching us knows that we are in the real estate industry.
Correct.
So, what are your thoughts?
I mean, AI is a game changer in the business, and I believe in the next couple of years and more, it will be able to do a lot more tasks. Again, I don't think it will entirely take the whole process, but things are moving a lot faster. Things are more efficient. Most people today, let's go back to basics. It would take you an hour or two to write an email. Now you can write it in 5 minutes or 2 minutes and just do a bit of editing, similar to what you're doing. So I think, AI is changing the game at a very fast pace. I think, you know what, I look at AI and I go back, you had the when the wheel was created, it changed the world. Then you had the when they figured out fire, it changed the world. Then you have the Industrial Revolution, it changed the world.
Correct.
Then you have the internet boom, it changed the world. And I think AI is going to change the world faster than anything that we've seen ever before in our time. And I do believe, this is why I was asking, where do you see AI going? I think we're going to be seeing humanoids in like 10, 15 years. You're going to be half human, half robot, and maybe the half human, half robot is an agent and an architect and a fitness instructor.
Could be.
Right.
Could be.
You're right. You're right.
Could be.
You're right.
I don't know at the speed that things are going, so it's insane.
But I still would like to hear from you. What do you think is the effect on the industry after the ceasefire in Gaza and what happened in 2025? Because we're still in the discussion of the highlights of 2025. Now there's no actual war.
Yeah.
Gaza, Israel, Iran, all of that is almost over.
Unfortunately, Khaldoon, it's a silent war right now.
It is.
Right?
Yes, it is. Agree.
We can call it a ceasefire,
Agree.
call it whatever you want. It's a silent war. I don't think it's really affected our industry or whatever in any form or way. It's more of, the emotional aspect of it, how it's affected us all, looking at it and seeing what's happening. But when it comes to our industry, obviously, unfortunately, there's no effect to what we're doing.
I think, funny enough, personally, I think it has a positive effect. I'll explain to you my theory.
Please go ahead.
Because look, on the global scene, financial crisis, everyone is talking it's coming in 2026. And personally, I believe it's coming, by the way. Everyone is saying that's going to create financial crisis across the world, including Dubai, similar to what happened in 2008. Personally, I totally disagree with that. Why? Because in 2008, Dubai wasn't as regularized as today. The leveraging was reaching 90% on equity. It's not the case anymore. On top of that, at that point in time, Dubai was a young city. Today, Dubai, you have a scarcity of land. If you remember, we were talking about this just before we started shooting.
Correct.
That's the major challenge that every single developer is facing nowadays. Plus, at the same time, money has to be parked somewhere. People are smart. They know that the currency is devaluated. Dollar is losing its value. Everyone knows this. It's not a secret.
Absolutely.
Where are you going to park your money?
UAE.
UAE. Because
UAE.
gold, like crypto, we all know what's going on with the prices. Very volatile. Stocks, it's crashing. Real estate, where are you going to put your money? In Miami?
Yeah.
It's overpriced and it's not safe. Europe, we all know what's going on. Singapore, it's an island. Everything has been developed. Your best bet is Dubai.
Yeah.
And everyone knows that in Dubai, it's still highly undervalued. Up till now, the value of a square foot in Dubai is 25% the price of a square foot in UK.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Dr. Baydoun, given the challenges that you're talking about in relation to scarcity of land, what's the DAMAC's outlook in terms of expanding into other Emirates? Because now all the other Emirates are also growing and maturing.
I'll give you a different spin.
You did
to
Ras
that.
Al Khaimah, right?
did.
In 25?
In 25, correct.
25, yeah.
Actually, I'm going to give you a different spin to that. Obviously, because of the saturation in Dubai, there is also concentration on other Emirates. I'm not talking about DAMAC, I'm talking in general in the market. That's why you're seeing now developments in Abu Dhabi picking up, and Ras Al Khaimah. Even in Fujairah now there is a lot of demand in that area. Sharjah.
Ajman, Sharjah.
Of course. But even in Dubai, you're going to see the game changing completely. And mark my word. Cities pass through cycles. And we've seen this in cities like Beirut, London, Paris. The city starts horizontal. Why? Because land is not rare and the value of the land is not high. then the horizontal development is saturated, no more of expansion. Then you're gonna see a new trend popping up, where because of the increase of the value of the real estate, the cost is justifiable to buy a horizontal development, knock it down, and build vertical development instead of that.
Yeah.
This is how cities transform from being horizontal to vertical. I'm not sure if you remember, about 20, 30 years ago, Beirut, as an example, you had a lot of houses.
And I'm 19.
Ah.
فصعب شوي.
Okay. I do remember.
He wouldn't remember.
Yeah, I'm 47, I do remember. Then, with the increase of the value of property, everyone started knocking down those houses and building buildings. It's going to happen
true.
in areas like Deira, like Jeddah. You will see it. It's going to happen. Then, this expansion is going to happen continuously towards the area of Maktoum Airport, because now once it's going to be open, which can be operational by next year, the value of property is going to be increasing. Plus, let me add one more layer. Dubai is becoming one of the rare cities in the world that's decentralized. Most of the cities on the planet are centralized. You have one center from which radiates all the value of development. In Dubai, you have downtown, you have Business Bay, you have Motor City, you have DIP, you have Jabal Ali, you have the Expo area.
Probably, yeah.
That's spreading value across the whole city. So you're going to see the vertical development being in demand across the whole city. And that's going to give Dubai another maybe 50, 60 years of transforming the horizontal development into vertical development. And up till then, I think we're going to be good in business. So don't worry. After retirement, we're going to be fine.
So I'm going to go back to where you started when you answered your question and said, actually, it does have a positive effect on the UAE. And I just want to tap on one thing before we move on, and I'll get back to you. You were talking about the dollar and why people are parking their money in the UAE. And let's go a little bit to the States and all what is happening, the political situation with the Trump and the Mamdani thing, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that was a big highlight. I know, Luay, you watch lots of podcasts. You're into this. So I really like to hear about this from you, honestly.
You're throwing the political stuff on me.
It's not political as much. Well, it is political somehow.
Yeah.
Did you annoy him before the episode?
No, I didn't. I wasn't expecting it, but it's fine. Look, I see the world's changing completely. I just want to add to what Dr. Baydoun was saying also about the dollar devaluing and inflation and all of that. And me also, it's like most people today don't want to have their money in the banks. They're scared. They don't believe in the banking system. They don't believe in that. And there's a lot of changes happening in the world. And talking about Mamdani, with all the political situation happening in the US, we see a shift in mind. We had the US in the last 15, 20 years since Obama, they started going very liberal to the left. And then, you know, now they've gone to the extreme right. And now you have the extreme right fighting the extreme left. And now they've given a new birth of the central people in between both of them. And I see these changes happening, you know, in more countries. In Europe, it's happening today. In the UK, it's happening today. And in other countries, and I think that trend is going to continue to happen. But I think this is something that happens around in the world. You know, I believe everything goes round in a circle. You know, even faith and belief. You start very, you know, non-believing, then you become very religious, and people become very not religious, and then they come back to religious. And it's just like a circle trend that goes. And it's just one of the circles that we're in today, you know, you see. What are your thoughts?
Hisham.
I know, no comments. I'm a big fan of Trump. Mamdani, it's the first time I hear about him. Allah yawafqo.
Good luck.
Whatever your thoughts are. Yeah. Like,
but who would have thought a Muslim being a mayor of New York? If I said that 10 years ago, you would have never believed it. Do you get what I mean? But it's happened. And the world's changing a lot very fast, you know.
True. I mean, at the end of the day, I think the highlight should be Dr. Mohammad Baydoun, right?
He is. He is. We're getting there.
He was positioning himself as, you know, like single, living in Dubai.
In
and
2025.
now he's ending 2025 with him being in a relationship. And that's a massive highlight.
Trust me,
let's drop politics.
We're going to dig deep in that. But we have to see, at the end of the day, Dr. Mohammed represents DAMAC. He is a face of DAMAC.
Thank you.
DAMAC had a huge deal recently with Trump.
Yeah.
That was a big highlight in 2025. We're going to talk about this a little bit. I want you to tell us about it. I want you to tell us how did that happen? What kind of effect did it have? And then we're going to do what you want. We're going to dig very deep into the relationships, podcasts, and everything. All right? So please.
Fair. Look, let me give this a completely different spin. I think there are lessons learned from Mamdani becoming the first Muslim / immigrant mayor of New York. And actually, I think there is a lot of resemblance between his story and Trump's story.
I agree. Absolutely.
Why Trump became a president? Why he's such a successful persona? You know why? He's one of the early business people understood the importance of personal brand.
True.
Trump, he has golf courses after his name. He has properties after his name. His name is worth way more maybe than even all of his
Assets.
Assets. So he understood that game. And this is how he managed to become a president, by understanding the pulse of the market, understanding the pulse of the people, of the ground. And he understood which kind of storyline they would like to hear. And he built on that storyline in an emotional way, back to the emotional connection, for him to become a president. Mamdani understood the same game. He's in New York, he understood what the mass wants to hear. He understood the importance of social media. He has his own song now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Man, it's so cool that you have so many reels now on Instagram that are using his soundtrack to create reels and content.
True.
And the guy made it.
True.
He made it to the top. Why? Because he created a storyline that resonates with the people, and he built his own personal brand. Now, back to your question. Look, first of all, the deal, I know they've been using the name of DAMAC, but this deal has been done through the data centers entity, which obviously is owned by our chairman, Hossein Sajwani. And obviously, any business deal is oriented to the numbers. So whether that Trump is a president or not, like Chairman Hossein Sajwani started with the data centers before that. And there was an opportunity for a business deal, and he proceeded with it. This regarding Trump president, not president. Business is all about numbers. There's no emotional connection to that. And that's why he's proceeding with this, obviously, because there's so much demand on data centers. And now the demand is going to increase with the use of AI. AI actually is killing the data centers now. I'm sure you know that.
We're going back to AI.
There
you go. It's a highlight.
Exactly. So because you need so much storage space for all the data being processed, and you need so much cache space also on data center to generate all of those complex analysis that are needed for every single question that we ask ChatGPT.
It's a genius move by him to get into data centers now.
Crazy. So now we have unplugged a little bit of the business of you, Doctor. Hisham, you ready? We need to unplug the real Mohammad Baydoun.
Yalla, go ahead.
Oh, well, she needs to take off his shirt.
Yes.
Show us how ripped he is.
Yeah.
Man, we are in the Middle East. We cannot do that on camera.
Who said
Who said
that?
We're in the Middle East. This is airing global.
Like, fine, if you insist, guys.
We do insist.
Yes. Let's give him a hand.
Whoa! Do an Arnold stretch.
You know, Doctor, yesterday I came across a short clipped video of an 80-year-old man that was in shape, yani, to kind of aligned with how you look. Yeah. You think, yani, continuing this daily, you'll maintain that body as you grow?
I believe so, because it also depends on the philosophy that you're adapting.
He's more relaxed now. He's comfortable.
Is this the real you? This is very interesting. That you took off your t-shirt and you wanted to continue shirtless. And I've watched a couple of your episodes and podcasts, and you said that you gained more views and more followers once you took your shirt off.
That's true, by the way.
What kind of message are you delivering?
Caused the divorce as well, but
look, it was related to it, honestly, because after the divorce, my ex-wife used not like me to create any type of fitness
social
content.
media.
She didn't like it, honestly, but particularly when I take off my shirt, because she used to feel jealous, which is understandable. When I took off my shirt, that helped me a lot. To me, it was a very simple. Again, I'm a business-oriented person. I'm an entrepreneur eventually. So if I have assets, why I shall skipping it and not using it?
Okay,
it's as simple as that.
Well, interesting. So can I ask you a question? Have you heard of Brian Johnson?
Of course.
Okay. Do you follow him? Do you see are you like using any of his techniques or anything like this, or what do you think about it?
At all, because I believe he's an overkill.
Okay.
I think he is doing analysis to paralysis.
Okay. Can you just tell us before who he is so
Yeah.
people, the audience, know exactly?
Of course. So the guy used to be, he is still a businessman, but he had a big IT company. He sold it. He was in very bad shape. Doctors told him, like, if you're not going to take care of your body, you might be dying in 10 to 15 years. So he decided he's going to do a research and create a protocol that's going to help him to reduce his biological age and extend his lifespan.
Mm-hmm.
So he started the analysis, and he spends like, I think around, he started with $20 million to start his protocol. And everything is being measured by the milli. For him, he's taking the right supplements. Every calorie that he's taking is intended for survival, to extend his lifespan. His sleep score is almost 100 every single day. He used to use Whoop, not anymore, because I noted that he dropped it recently.
Interesting.
But I think what he does is an overkill. Why? First of all, human bodies are extremely unique and highly evolving. Like for me, I keep changing my diets and my fitness training depending on the way I feel. Because when you are in your 20s, different than your 30s. And not only that, the way I feel this week is different than the way I will feel next week. True. Maybe next week I'm going to be making more effort. I'll be adjusting my training routine accordingly. My calories intake will be also dependent on the number of activity that I'm doing. What did I do in the morning? Did I do any hikes? Was I active during the whole day? All of this takes play into changing the way I feel. And the best way, I believe, for people to achieve the best protocol is to listen to their bodies. People need to listen to their bodies. And my biggest problem with fitness trackers in general and measurement is that it disconnects you from your own body. You become obsessed with the number, and the number doesn't really reflect.
How do you listen to your body, though? You say that. How do you do it? Because I would love to understand. How do you do that?
Doctor, as you answer Luay's question, you also don't use weights in your exercise, right?
100%.
So how do you listen to it and use what it is you use?
Actually, not using weights helps me in that. I'll explain why. Because what I do is calisthenics. Calisthenics is mostly focused on body weight exercises that are complex by nature, like pull-ups, chin-ups. All of those movements, for you to do it properly and to perfection the form, you need to have a high mind-to-body connection. If you don't have high body-to-mind connection, it's impossible for you to do it. Particularly that I move now to the skills part, so I know how to do back lever, front lever, muscle ups. I can do all of that.
And you train every day?
Yes, I do.
How many hours?
It depends.
In average?
Hour and a half. But let's say if I am on a vacation, I'm cheating in the calories, I'm drinking alcohol a bit more than the usual.
So you drink also?
Yeah, I drink alcohol.
Wow. And you're able to stay in shape like this? Yes. Wow.
So a couple of hours, almost an hour and a half.
Sometimes
every
I
day.
go up to 3, honestly.
And you do podcasts, and you
have to actually,
and you do
site visits,
of course.
And what about family?
Look, obviously I was married. I have 2 kids, 17 years old, Jad and Yasmina, God bless them.
Twins, right?
Twins. So I travel to Lebanon once every month, sometimes twice, it depends, for me to see them. I spend quality time with them. Apart from that, I was single for a long time. Up till like the last 2.5 months, I met someone. Someone special.
That's the highlight.
Wow.
And so far things are.
Isn't
She's
it a
watching
challenge?
you, so be careful what you say.
I have to.
No, what I'm trying to ask you is how do you manage? يعني ما شاء الله, a huge schedule, a very busy schedule, and in a very demanding atmosphere, in a very demanding country.
City, yeah.
How do you do this?
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I'll tell you how my typical day and weekend looks like. So usually I wake up around 5:30 in the morning.
Okay.
By 6, I start my workout. Usually from 5:30 to 6, I go, brush my teeth, get myself ready, pick up the outfit of the day. 6, I start working out. Usually what helps me is that most of the days I work out in my house because I have the full calisthenics set up in there. I do a lot of cardio, by the way. And again, I do it because it works for me. It doesn't mean it's the best for everyone.
Yeah. So again, how do you listen to your body? Yeah, you said cardio. When you do a lot of cardio, it's not good because you lose muscle.
True.
Right?
Because for me, I believe I reached the genetical not limit, but the genetical balance that I need. I'm not in the muscle building stage anymore. I am in the muscle maintenance stage and trying to be as shredded as possible and as healthy as possible. Because when you have a high VO2 max, because of the cardio, that helps you a lot in being healthy, active, giving you the ability of doing many things during the day, gives you the energy, sustainability of energy, and it forgives any play around with the calories also. Then I do calisthenics 3 times per week only, by the way, not more, because it's very taxing on the body. And I do circuit format. I know that goes against everything that you hear in social media, but it works for my body perfectly.
Okay.
Because my body responds very well to volume, because I've tested many methods, and my body recovers very quickly between sets. So that's why I don't need much of rest time. Circuit format works perfectly for me. Very short, concise, I kill it, and I move on. Then I have my shower. By 8 a.m. I'm leaving the house. 8:30 I'm at the office. Business starts.
You don't end with a plunge pool?
I tried it. It didn't work for me.
It didn't work, huh?
Because my body fat percentage is so low. It just destroyed me. I couldn't handle it.
I do cold plunges a lot. I have a cold plunge at home. It's interesting.
People swear by it.
Yeah.
But for me, it didn't work. I tried it. I couldn't handle it at all. It's not for me. And by the way, research doesn't prove that it has many benefits apart from feeling great.
Yeah,
it's
there's positive and negative. I read about it.
Yeah, marketing, consumerism, capitalism.
Exactly. That's why, as an example, I don't highly believe in protein powders, creatine I don't take. I don't believe in any of that. I just take as much whole food as possible, big volumes, low calories for me to feel satisfied. During the day, obviously, I'm busy with DAMAC up till the evening. In the evening, I might have shootings. Either I have one of my podcasts or I'm shooting social media content. I shoot technical content here in Dubai. The Arabic, I shoot it either in the studio here or in Lebanon. So once I fly to see my kids, usually in the morning, I shoot the Arabic content. And during the weekends, also sometimes I have shootings, whether that's for fitness with my social media team, or like today, I'm invited to be with you guys. Friday and Saturday, I always go out, have fun. Sometimes during the day also. And I try to minimize the quantity of alcohol.
It's something interesting looking at you and how you live and your fitness. When did this fitness all start? Like, when did you start like working out? How old were you? Because you look like, when I look at you, like a Tarzan. You know, you were born working out. You know, like how Tarzan was playing with animals. You were working out when you came out of birth. So I know, like, when did you start training?
He's a karate kid. He's a karate kid with a black belt.
Karate kid background also.
So
2 black belts.
So when did the whole training and that, you know, dedication to fitness start? How did it happen?
At the age of 14.
Oh, okay, nice.
Actually, before that, funny enough, I used to be a shy kid. I swear. So my mom sent me to a training camp back in Lebanon. And during the training camp, they had multiple activities. One of them was judo. So let me try what the judo is. So I went and I liked it. Within a week, I was wiping the floor with all the kids. I discovered that I know how to fight. I didn't know that I know how to fight. And I won the championship of the clubs. And my parents decided to send me to a karate club. I went there. Within 1 year, I was performing extremely well. At the age of 16, I won the national championship of Lebanon for the first time.
Wow.
At the age of 17, I won it another time. At the age of 18, I got an international black belt from the World Shotokan Karate Do Federation in Japan.
And Bruce Lee was your inspiration?
Not really. It
No?
was Kasuya Sensei, who is the 8th dan. I'm not sure if he's still alive now. And he's the person that actually tested me for my black belt.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
You just mentioned that your mom sent you to the camp and she's the one who pushed you and she had a massive influence on where you are today, right? Yeah. So I'll give you the space to talk about that. I know you always talk about it, but it's good to talk about it.
Fair. Look, me and my mom are very close because, first of all, when she gave me birth, she was only 19 years old.
Wow.
So the age gap between me and her is very small. And when she gave me birth back in 1978, you know, at that point in time, there was no entertainment TV like today. So I was her only entertainment. She was focused on me all the time. Imagine when she sent me to school at the age of 3, I already knew how to read and write.
Yeah.
Because like she was on me on daily basis. Like she had nothing in life but to focus on me.
Are you the only child? Sorry.
No, I'm the eldest. Then later on when I was at school, like she put a lot of pressure on me, which is not considered to be good by today's standards, but it worked. Like if I got the second ranking in any of my classes or at any of my semesters, she used to kick my ass, literally. It wasn't acceptable to be number two. I had to always be number one. And she convinced me that you are different and you are special. I'm not sure if that's true, but she convinced me that that's the case.
Hisham, did you have the same type of pressure? Like you should be the number one? From the family, I'm talking. Not
No,
necessarily.
I did not have that kind of
No?
pressure. No.
So you were already the number one.
La, no. I mean, it was. I like to perform, but that kind of a mindset was not instilled within the household. I had to deliver results, a kid.
Okay.
But being number one or number two doesn't really matter. My character and my well-being is what's important.
Oh, Lu'ay, did you have that type of pressure?
Different type of pressure. My family were more about principles and values. I think that's what the parents kept on kind of entrenching, especially my father, for us. But to be number one, yeah, he always wanted the best, and for me to do the best. But I don't know about number one. That's a unique,
Yeah, because it's interesting. What you're saying is very interesting. I just want.
I think we're all in a city that's number one. We're all in a very relatively advanced stage. Yeah, absolutely. But كمان I think يعني الله يخلي والدتك. But I believe it's also a mindset that certain people apply, and it works. So it's worked well for Dr. Mohammad.
Yeah.
Did it influence your ego also?
At some point in time, yes.
Okay.
Particularly in my 20s. Like honestly, when I graduated from college, I had a huge ego. I'll explain to you why.
Okay.
Because imagine a kid that has 15 years of school, number one ranking, 15 years. He entered the School of Architecture where the best guys in the country joined that school, and you managed to get number one ranking. And you won 2 awards in architecture before graduating, while having a black belt in karate, while being national champion twice. My head was like that. And I was super fit, and the rest of the story.
Describe this for me. What do you mean my head was like
Can I just say something to add? When I first met him, just looking at Baydoun, you think, his head's big, he's got an ego and everything. By the way, naturally, when you look at you, that's how I thought. But when you get to know him, when you speak to him, you're completely different, by the way. It's just a persona and image. But inside, when you talk, you're a completely humble guy, by the way.
Yeah.
Just to correct, because that's how I felt when I first met you. I'm like, this guy's got an ego that can reach, I don't know what. Then you get to know him, he's completely different.
By the way, that's what my girlfriend tells me, because when we met in a business context. Then when we started dating at the beginning, she had this impression because of my social media presence, and she said, this guy must have a huge ego and he must be narcissistic and stuff. But then when she discovered my real me inside, she discovered a completely different person. Someone that's humble, someone that's gentle.
So I still want to know I still want to know.
Yeah, we're going back to
how big.
Yes.
Yeah, because at that point in time, I felt I'm on the top of the game from a manhood perspective.
Okay.
Because I had the body, I had the look, I had the power, I had the fighting skills, and I had the intellectuality, and I had the success at the same time. All of them together, which is a real package. Then I was kind of arrogant in the way even I deal with women at that point in time, even when I started the business. But then I got humbled very quickly, because luckily, when my first career was with Millennium Development, which was owned by Saad Al-Hariri. And at that point in time, all the guys that were senior in that company were MIT and Harvard graduates, and very humble people. So I really learned from those. Those guys were the gods of development at that point in time, and they were super humble. And also because of my job, I used to deal with all the VIP people in Saudi Arabia. I met King Abdullah, by the way, of Saudi Arabia twice.
No.
During my career, I used to meet the Prince of Mecca continuously. So you deal with all of those VIPs that are thousands of levels above me, and still they were super humble. And I thought, you know what? Okay, I am a big fish in a small pool, but there are way bigger fish in way bigger pools. So that humbled me down.
Of course. The only reason why I wanted to really emphasize
you continued,
on
and Millennium was wiped out, and all these MIT graduates you touched upon, in my opinion, they're all egotistical. And that's why you're here doing a great job.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
So I want to ask you, a question. So you got married, you got two beautiful twins.
Yeah.
And you got, I think, recently divorced a couple of years ago?
3.5 years.
3.5 years ago. So I wanted to understand, a bit about marriage life from you. I wanted to understand your experiences and what went right, what went wrong, and what caused, if you're okay about answering these.
That's fine. Actually, I had a very beautiful marriage story. I met her, she was 17, I was 23 years old.
Oh, wow.
We were kids, yeah. And we dated for like 5 years. In between, like after 3 years, we had a breakup for like 1 year. For the first 3 years, like obviously, like we had very emotionally intense relationship, but we had a problem. The problem was not from her end; it was more of a situational thing, because she comes from a very well-off family. I don't, and her family used to have a lot of, let's say, certain requests and demand that I wasn't satisfying at that point in time.
Like most Arab families.
Yeah, classic. And in my head, because I was still a young guy, I wasn't like as mature as I am today. You're not putting pressure enough on your family, and we had a breakup. In the process, I met another girl, by the way, and I got engaged.
Oh.
Yeah. And I was about to get married. Imagine, like, we even booked the wedding venue. She bought the white dress.
Ooh.
I swear. Then guess what happened 2006?
Tell me.
War in Lebanon.
Oh.
Everything was postponed. Magically.
What year was that?
2006.
2006.
Yeah. So imagine the whole thing got postponed. In the process, I was in Jordan. So my ex-wife, who was my ex-girlfriend at that point in time, texted me on MSN. You remember MSN?
Yes,
there was no WhatsApp at that point
yeah.
in time. So send me a message.
Hisham doesn't.
Yeah, he's 19.
Not his. Exactly.
So we started chatting, and honestly, I wasn't happy with the other girl, although she was amazing also, but we didn't have the chemistry. To make a long story short, we came back together. And once the war was over, I came back to Lebanon. We got engaged, we got married. And 2008, she got pregnant. And the way she got pregnant was a very inspirational story. I'm not sure if you want to hear it now or we'll keep it for later. Actually, we were in Turkey. We came back. Couple of weeks after that, I had a dream that I would call a vision, something I did not dream like ever in my life. I saw that I went for hunting, and the sky was full of bluebirds, light blue, baby blue. And my brother was next to me, and I had a rifle in my hand. So in the rifle, I tried to shoot one of the birds. I shot it. It went down. I couldn't reach it because there was so many birds like holding me from proceeding forward. I tried to shoot another one, but the rifle got stuck. A blue bird came down from the sky. It was blue, but a different blue. It was shiny navy blue with 2 patches on it. One yellow, one red. And it came in my hand.
Wow.
Let me hold it. And then all the hunters were telling me, amazing, man. Like, you're so lucky how this bird came down to you. And I woke up. I heard the adhan. So, wudu. And I prayed. And then I continued sleeping. Next day, I tried to asking people, like, what does this mean? Some people, they told me it's money, it's kids, it's whatever. Then I started and analyzed, and I told my ex-wife, you are pregnant with the twins, and they are a boy and a girl. She said, Muhammad, for God's sake, stop it. What are you talking about?
Wow.
I told her, hear my analysis. A bird came down from the sky. I think it's a kid. The fact that you have 2 patches, that means there are 2 babies. Different color, different gender.
Wow.
1 week after that, her sister called me. Your wife feeling nauseous. We've done the pregnancy test. She was pregnant. We went to the doctor. 2 pulses. It was confirmed. It was a twins. 3 months down the road, we've done the 4D scan. A boy and a girl.
Wow, what a story.
Nice. Yeah.
Wow. Interesting. I mean, what's the odds, by the way, of having twins? Do you know the statisticals? It's like interesting topic. Because I would love to have twins, and
I checked, and I think it's very rare, particularly when you have different gender. I think it's the rarest.
Yeah.
What caught me also that you said you heard the adhan, you prayed. So you're a believer, you're religious. Are you a religious person, Muhammad?
I am religious in my own way.
What is your own way?
I believe, first of all, in God. That's for sure.
Okay.
And I believe that religion has multiple facets. And the fact that there is one facet that has been conveyed to us when we were kids, that doesn't mean it's the only facet available in life. If you dig deeper behind the generic teachings that being conveyed to you, you will see a lot of references, academic references that portrays to you multiple perspectives and multiple, let's say, Sharia judgments that are not necessarily consistent with what we believe is right or wrong.
I don't know if we're going to talk about that while you're being topless.
Yeah, I think it's time maybe
maybe-
to put the shirt on.
Yeah. Speaking of religion and prayer, you know,
exactly. It's a good idea.
Hisham, what about you? Are you religious or you're spiritual? Because
I'm
you know this
private.
is the trend. Are you religious or you're spiritual?
Private.
You're private.
Yeah.
You have your own beliefs. Do you think there is a power?
There's your power for sure.
And yours?
I'm okay. I'm subtle.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Luay.
It's not an easy topic. This is a question, I've battled myself since a young person, trying to believe, which I do believe, but there's always a lot of questions, I believe. We always question things.
We're meant to. We are meant to
Yeah,
question.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I keep on questioning, and I always divert myself, and sometimes I just pull back. Some things don't make sense to me. A lot of things don't make sense to me. Later on, they make sense to me. And I do feel still I'm in my journey. I haven't fulfilled it. So that's my answer when it comes to that topic. And I think most of us also, it's a never ending journey.
Absolutely.
It's whatever you find comfort in, I guess, at the end. And that's going to be your belief. And what, makes you relax and happy. I think religion needs to bring you happiness and comfort in what's there and what's in the afterlife, I guess.
وحضرتك أستاذ خلدون.
What about me?
Religion.
Yeah, I'm a believer, 100%. I am a believer, yes. Yeah. I believe in God big time. Do I practice religion? Not really, unfortunately. I'd love to. But as I said, I keep questioning things in religion. I keep questioning things.
I was thinking the other day, because, I go through these moods all the time, and I question what would have happened to the world if there was no religion? Regardless if it's any of the Abrahamic religions, how would the world look like? And
Brutal.
Exactly, and that's what came along.
حيوانة.
Correct.
Sorry.
I think as human beings, we need rules and guidance, regardless, because we are, in a way, formal way, a type of animal, regardless or not.
Well,
And I
animals
think-
are more organized sometimes.
And I feel
True.
religion gives us rules. So even if you're not religious or you're religious, you can't deny it gave us rules and guidance.
We need the guidelines.
The guidelines, exactly. And that's, for me, what religion is an important part for me. What are your thoughts on that?
For me, look, religion is something important in order to create a code of ethics that will help to control people. Because
Correct.
Hisham, he was saying something, and I strongly believe in him, in what he said, actually. Animals, they have their instinct that helps them to organize their social life and their social behaviors. We don't. And without code of ethics, humans can shock you how brutal and how savage they could be. And the biggest example, when you see revolutions, and we've seen many of those during our lifespan, people become barbaric, ruthless, killers when there is no code of ethics, no one is watching. So that's why I believe people, at heart, not all of them are kind. So and that's why it's very essential to have a code of ethics that come in the form of religion in order to control them.
Interesting. Yeah. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other. That's why probably God gave religion to human beings and not to animals.
Let's go back to the physique and the fitness and Dr. Baydoun. I know that Luay had so many questions to ask you, so I really want him to ask you all of these questions because this is really very interesting for us.
Fair.
So yeah, we let's go back to it, because you said about your marriage and the kids. So, and then you got divorced 3.5 years ago. How did it get to there? And because, your doctor relationship today, so I want to ask you other questions,
Fair.
but I wanted to understand what got you to, and what did you learn through that experience,
Fair.
marriage life?
Look, after my kids were born, obviously that was a life-changing experience. You will understand there is a purpose in life, and that actually helps you to have a stronger bond with your partner. But across the years, things do change. Humans are not consistent. I changed a lot. To be fair, I'm the one that changed substantially. Like, she was a pretty consistent person from the beginning till the end. But I'm the person that changed, and particularly that I was living alone in Dubai since 2016. Obviously, that took toll on the communication and the bond in the family. And eventually, like, it was better for both of us that each one would take his own path. It's not because like I'm a bad person or she's a bad person. It just happened that I evolved in direction, and our purposes in life were not matching at some point in time. And by the way, today we have a very good relationship. So when I fly to Lebanon to see the kids, she joins us. We have dinners with the kids, lunches together. So the kids doesn't feel that anything has changed. The only thing is that we're not married on paper, and obviously there is no romantic bond between us, but the family bond is still there up till now.
Was divorce an agreement or a decision from one side?
She asked for it.
And how did you feel? Like, honestly, because we always hear about how divorce affects women, but we're all men here, and I would really like to hear, how did the divorce affect you as a man, with the ego at that time, with all what Dr. Muhammad at that time was? How did divorce affect you?
At the beginning, I freaked out.
No,
I'm not gonna like give you any bullshit stories. Why? Because I felt my world was falling apart. I'm married, I have kids, I love them. And although, like, I told you we were like diverting at some point in time, but still, like, I felt the world is falling. It's not easy, like, to give up on all of that. But when we both tried again. Like, I wanted to fix this. We tried and didn't work. Not because of anything, because I changed and it wasn't just working. So at the beginning, I felt like I'm a life-changing moment, and I didn't know what's going to happen to me. But I adapted quickly. How and why, I don't know. Maybe I think, by the way, fitness helped me a lot. I'm not joking now. Because I went more all into fitness, and I went back to fighting at that point in time, because it helped me to release stress and refound, my fighter side and my killer side. And that actually helped me to overcome.
Did you take any consultancy? Did you see someone at that time?
No one.
Did you try to fix it? Like, she asked for it. Did you kind of like try to say no and all that? Because sometimes women, just my little opinion, they might ask for something, they say no, but they mean yeah.
Yeah.
No, I thought the same, by the way.
Maybe, she wanted to hear something. She wanted to see how you're going to fight so much to save the marriage. Do you get what I mean?
100%.
Could be that. So did you feel that? Did you try to save it? Did you do attempt?
I did, and I did twice, actually. Like, she came to Dubai for like 10 days. It didn't work. I flew to Lebanon also. I tried to fix things, and also it didn't work. Because, again, it's back to the point where I had a different objectives in life, and I didn't want to compromise on those. Because at that point in time, remember, I wasn't as famous on social media as I am today, I wasn't as known as I am today, and I saw it.
She didn't divorce you then, she definitely divorced you now.
Most probably.
So it wasn't easy, huh?
No, it wasn't easy.
And today you're a relationships doctor. And you're divorced.
I'm divorced.
You went through the whole process, and now people come to you.
True. How this is matching?
Yes.
Look,
please.
First of all, let's start with the specialty, because everyone keep asking me the same question. So you are a real estate figure. You are an architect. You have a PhD in risk management. Because the first impression people get, particularly I have the title Doctor of Relationships in addition to the Doctor of Real Estate. So you have a PhD in psychology. I'm saying, well, how are you advising on this? To me, it's very simple. First of all, we need to separate between applicable sciences and non-practical sciences and non-practical sciences. Let me give you an example. Tomorrow, Khaldoun, if I give you a book about surgery and you read it, can you go and implement surgery on Hisham, let's say?
On Hisham?
No, forget about Hisham.
I think he would.
Please. If on Hisham, yes, tomorrow. I'll actually, while reading the book, I'll go and operate.
Chapter 1, page 3.
No, of course not. No, of course not.
Of course
not.
But if I give you a marketing book and you read it, wouldn't you understand it? And most probably you're gonna know how to execute it.
Most probably, yes, of course.
Same applies in life. So basically, then psychology is a non-practical science. So if you read it, you will understand it. That's one. Second, the most important skill that you learn when you get a PhD is not the topic itself. It's not the dissertation itself. It's the set of skills that you learn to become analytical, to become more, let's say, critical. And that will help you to learn about any single topic. And more importantly, that will help you to better reflect on your personal experiences, analyze it, and come up with lessons learned.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, because as an example, I'm not sure you guys, if you know, I'm also a published author. I have 18 publications under my name. All of my publications are actually not just a documentation, are analysis for my personal professional experiences. So basically, I took theories that talks about risk management in general, particularly from IT, by the way, not from real estate, because there isn't much theories about risk management in real estate. Then I applied those theories to analyze the project that I managed across the span of my career. Then I came up with new knowledge in the form of new theoretical models that I used to manage the risk of my future projects.
Wow.
The same logic, I applied it also in the context of relationships. My personal experiences, because of course I had my share of dating experiences after the marriage. And I learned about what's the dating scene in Dubai, which is not very pleasant in my view. Anyway, and then all of that helped me to come up with certain lessons learned from my personal experiences, from what I hear in my entourage, from people that come and talk to me. And by the way, the moment I started becoming more viral on social media, although I don't give personal sessions, but my followers, they send me messages about their problems and I help them sorting it out.
Oh, wow.
And the fact that I'm able to help them in sorting specific problems, that gave me more confidence and then gave me more case studies that I can feed back to my own analysis and my own understanding, and then create even more content. That's the cycle through which I go in order to create the Doctor of Relationships.
So how does it work? People send you messages explaining a case, and then you go online and talk about it. Explain this to me.
I'll give you one actual example that will make things easier. One lady sent me a message. I'm not going to mention her name, obviously. She's married. She has a problem with her marriage for the last 3 years. She has 3 kids. The eldest is 19. Her husband, she told me, he's been changing for the last 3 years. She's doing her best in order to be close to him, and she feels like he's diverting in a different way. Every time she told him, let's sit together and sort out this problem, he pushes back. She tries to do stuff with him, he pushes back. And she told me that she went to 5 life coaches in Lebanon, and all of them told her, leave him while you're with him and let us help you and give you sessions to teach you how you can live on your own.
That's why I don't like therapists, by the way. I hate them.
And she told me, my instinct is telling me what they're saying is wrong.
Yeah.
And she told me, I look at you, you are a man, and I respect you. I want to hear from you. I don't want to hear from a woman. How you think such a problem can be sorted out?
Okay.
Told her, look, I'm not a life coach. I'm not a therapist, but I'll tell you my view as Muhammad, as a man. Told her, I think the biggest challenge in the way you're addressing the problem is that you're going to your husband and telling him, we have a problem, let's sit and sort it out. He's automatically becoming defensive.
Correct.
The first thing you need to do is to try to get closer to him, and the change shall not be sudden. Try to understand what he likes. Try to do surprises with him. Try to get closer to him. Try to understand his concerns. Don't try to criticize his judgment every single time. Don't put him in the defensive zone. Try and see how he could change. Send me a message a few weeks down the road. I really thank you. Things are starting getting better between me and my husband, because he's feeling now that things are going back together. Like we are getting more back to our intimacy. You guys understand what I mean? And I really thank you for that. You've been more helpful to me in one message than the 5 therapists that I met.
Wow. Is the marriage now good?
Yeah, it seems like it.
Fantastic.
That's one of the examples.
Yeah.
I have many others.
Can I ask you a question? Because for me also, I look at things sometimes a bit too much black and white.
Yeah.
But for me, men are very, very simple.
Yeah.
While women overcomplicate it. Do you get what I mean? And you were saying now they ask a lot of questions and all of that. And for me, when someone asks you questions, it's very simple. You get defensive. Do you get what I mean? So I think that's the different roles of male, females, husband, wife, and all of that. Coming back to it, Dr. Relationship Baydoun. Okay. What was the craziest thing that happened, any questions or anything happened in, your experience?
Look, I'll tell you.
Elaborate.
what can be said on camera.
Yeah,
I'll
course.
skip the parts that cannot be said on camera. So, as an example, I got multiple marriage proposals on via DMs.
Wow.
I've got requests for dating.
Wow.
Yeah, and one of the funny. So one time, like, I'm not gonna mention the nationality. A lady offered me to send me a plane to
Oh, wow.
pick me up from Dubai and go meet her in her home country. Those are that can be said on camera. They are wildest thing that we cannot be said on camera.
Can I ask a question? How does these cases affect you as a person also? Because you're listening to troubled people sometimes. But you get troubled messages. You get lots of burdens thrown on you. How do you manage this?
That's a very fun.
This is too much.
That's a very important question, Khaldun. And at some point in time, it was impacting me because I strongly believe in energy, by the way.
Of course.
And that's why for me, the energy of the person is very, very important. So when you get problem that comes with a negative energy, that energy impacts you. And that's why now I don't do this frequently. I used to be I wanted to be helpful. So I was trying to go all out and answer all the messages. Now with the virality of my videos, it's not physically possible. It's impossible for me to answer every single comment and every single. It's impossible.
AI becomes important.
You're right. But up till now, although there is a way to apply it, I'm trying to be till this point in time to be genuine to my audience.
Yeah.
And I respond wherever I can, and I limit this. So I say to myself, in the morning on my way to the office, I have 30 minutes. This is where I answer as much messages as I can, and that's
But you
it.
choose. Obviously.
Yeah, I pick up the more important ones. I check the profile. So if I see for example, a lady that's married with a guy, I give those priority because I know those are real problem. As opposed to single ladies, I know that they want to flirt. I skip those messages.
Yeah,
Of course. I'm just trying to relate because we, Luay and I, Hisham and I, sometimes we're on the phone being influenced or affected by the negative comments that we get at work or in life, So I really wanted to learn from you. How do you actually control this and how do you manage it? And you said that you obviously choose what to answer and what not to answer. And
that's from one side. And by the way, there is another aspect, which is hate on social media.
Of course.
Oh, you get that?
Of course. It depends on the video.
Did anything ever affect you?
No, never.
Never,
No,
huh?
I don't care.
And do you go and read them?
Whenever I have time. Now I have thousands of comments on each post, and I post every day. It's impossible to read.
You cannot
them
go
all.
through
I
everything
cannot.
anymore.
For example, let's say when I have a famous video about why men are becoming very sensitive. Oh, there's also another one. I talked about the 50-50 in a relationship, and I said I don't believe in it because a man he's meant to provide for the family. I don't believe in excuses. I come up from a very humble background, and I managed to have a proper family. And although I was married to a woman that was richer than me, I still managed to take care for the whole family on my own, and never asked her for a single penny. Although sometimes she helped, to be fair, on her own, but I never asked for that. So that's why I don't believe in those excuses. And all of the men were, not all of them, many of them were all out on me. Life has changed. You are living in Dubai because you are rich.
Side you're talking about.
Yeah, because you are rich. You think everyone is like you, this, that. First of all, I'm not a billionaire. Yeah, okay, let's start with that. Yeah. But at the same time, I just believe in manhood. And you guys, know very well, we are all four guys here. All of us, we managed to have our share of success and wealth. And we know when someone works hard, eventually you will get there. It's not impossible. I don't believe in excuses. That's from one side. Another side, you have the women when sometimes they become haters. The moment I talk in one of the videos, I was talking what I was looking for in a woman. Before I started dating, before I started my current relationship, to be clear. So I was saying that I wouldn't want to be with a woman that's highly accessible and any man can have her. And I continued the discussion explaining what I look for in a woman. I don't know why this like pushed the red bottom of so many women. Who you think you are? You are insecure. You are this. You are that. Women went all out, and then men jumped on them.
But I wanna,
that's because
but
you
Dr.
are.
Baydoun, I mean, with the women that had a backlash on this, did you? What was the common denominator between all of them? Is that they're all on social media. They all want to be exposed. I mean, if you looked into it a bit deeper, they all have something in common, and that's why they got offended by the truth.
You know why they got offended? It's because I touched upon a point that they cannot undo.
Yeah.
Their history is there, and they cannot change it.
And that hurts.
That hurts.
Interesting.
Ouch.
So most of your, I don't know, texters, what percentage do we have? Men versus women?
90% women.
90% women. So women will always have the big influence, right?
Yeah. No, most of my followers are women across all of my platforms.
Interesting.
This reminds me of Hitch. The more we talk about this.
Hitch the movie?
The movie.
Yeah.
Well, Will Smith.
Yeah. He's the Hitch of the Middle East.
So can I ask you a question then?
Shoot.
What do you think's changed in the last 20 to 30 years between, masculinity, feminism and all of that? Because, that's become a big topic. You got the Andrew Tates are coming out, people saying he's misogynistic or whatever, how you say that word. You got Nick Fuentes, also very popular now, and all of this. What has caused all of these kind of stirs and changes in society? Do you get what I mean? Because in the last 30 years, I think, women became free, they started working and all of that, and then became all equal and all of that. And then we're seeing a change backwards. What's causing that, do you feel?
I'll tell you what I believe is the change and my view about people like Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
And the Andrew Taters, let's put it that way.
Yeah, please.
First of all, historically, if you go back to, let's say, the Stone Age, men were meant to provide and also at the same time to protect. Women were meant to take care of the household at home. Then, in the last 100 years, governments saw an opportunity, a business opportunity in convincing women that they need to work.
Women's suffrage, it's called, I think, right?
Yeah. You're doubling the size of the working force. You're doubling the amount of taxes being paid, right?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. So then women believed in it and they went all out. And they said they're becoming liberal, now they're having more freedom. And then in the process, they discovered there is a problem. I'm not enjoying this and it's killing my social life. And I don't want that. We used to be treated like queens, what's going on now? And that's why you find a lot of women going back. And by the way, I know a lot of top ladies in Dubai through obviously my circles. They all tell me if we find the right man that I really get convinced with his masculinity and his energy, I would give up all of my career for him. But it has to be the right man. Why? Because a woman is a woman and a man is a man eventually. That's the actual energy. And whoever says other than that is delusional. For me, I strongly like my woman, if I get married at some point in time, if she wants to work, it's because she wants to, not because she has to. It's very important, whenever you want to travel, whenever you want to go out with her, go out on a weekend, I want her to be available. I don't want her to have a boss that will tell her you can do this and you cannot do that. I don't want this. That's not something I would like. If she wants to enjoy, have some kind of a business that can work in parallel, doesn't require her physical presence all the time, that's perfectly fine. Now, going back to the Andrew Taters. Now, because there was, let's say, a niche or a gap in the relationship world where there was a mismatch between the masculinity and between what's happening on the ground from a dating perspective, that was the opportunity where Andrew Tate saw and he jumped in. He was a very smart guy. He captured it. And he went all out. Obviously, many people hate him, many people love him, but at the matter of the core of the principle, most of what he says is right. I know he sometimes exaggerates, and I don't believe that he believes in everything that he says.
Controversial.
100%. because he's smart. Some of the statements doesn't come from a smart man, and I know that he's a smart man, which is fine. It works for him. At the same time, many people are trying to follow his steps and trying to become, the male chauvinists and to portray this alpha male figure. And many of those guys do not fill those shoes. But I believe the problem also with this new trend is that those people are forgetting that men are way more complex than they portray them. I know that you just said like 10 minutes ago, men are simple, all what they need, and their needs are simple. I'm going to talk about myself as Muhammad. I'm not a simple person, and my needs are not as simple. It's not just about eating and having a woman and sleeping. No, my needs are beyond this. I'm a very emotional person, by the way. I know I don't look like it. I'm a very emotional person, and I want to be emotionally satisfied. I want to have the strong bond. I want the positive energy of the woman I want to be with. Again, like people, every single message I receive on social media, women, before I started dating, they still message, I don't respond. Just to be clear on that. Like all of them, they ask me how the woman that you want to be with looks like. They all assume I just want to be with a supermodel.
Interesting.
And it's not true. With all, like, honestly, I had that. Let's be clear on this. And it's not fun. I promise you it's not fun. I'm sure you guys also had your own share of those experiences. I think, Luay, you've been single for a long time before you got married. I think you could agree with me on this. It's never only about the beauty.
Absolutely not. Yeah, of course.
Beauty alone becomes boring very quickly. Very quickly.
I have to say, but my wife has both. She's beautiful and she's an amazing woman.
You're blessed. You're blessed. I should say I have the same now, which is the case. So within this complexity, you don't look just for a woman that sits home and keeps her mouth shut the way Andrew Tate says and just cook and cleans the house. No, it's not that. You need a partner. You need a partner that can think with you, that can strategize with you, that can help you become a better version of yourself. Someone that has the guts and the confidence to criticize you. I know many people hate it. I love it. I don't like to have to be with a person that's weak charactered and then whatever I say, yes. How can you evolve?
Of course.
There's no one. There's a difference between being an arrogant person that's stubborn, that doesn't listen, and someone that's logical and smart, can challenge, but also can, let's say, understand your point of view and help you to make it better, help you to become a better person, not just to prove a point. Achieving this level in a relationship is complex. It's not easy. The problem with the alpha male figures is that they're portraying it way too simple and it destroying the emotional sense and emotional meaning of a relationship, which is extremely important to the essence of a relationship between a man and a woman.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, look, because of all these changes, if you look at it, divorce rates, it's almost like, I think 95% chance you're going to get a divorce. And that's being caused by these changes in the world, I guess.
In Lebanon in particular, there are more divorce applications than marriage applications. That's for sure. It's a statistic.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But that's sad. That's very sad.
I mean, because a lot of people, I feel they say when you go, men and women are different. They're like, oh, they're not equals. Or they start attacking you. We're equal, aren't we? And I don't think it's about being equal or not equal.
Exactly.
We just have different roles. And that's what people, I think, need to define.
100%.
That she's a woman. She has a role. I have a role. We are equal, but we just have different roles.
Exactly.
And I think just a lot of people confuse the two. And that's, I think, the main issue. And in Europe, I think they have, or the Western world, I think they have that problem with it. Because in Europe, when I lived in the UK, you'd go out with friends who are girls, you'd split the bill. Here, you'd never imagine sharing a bill with a lady.
Of course, man, that's like...
I don't even fathom it. It's not even a thought or a thing that will happen. And I've always been like that because of my culture. But in Europe, I mean, some of my friends in the UK would be surprised. You don't split the bill? Yeah. I'm like, what do you mean split the bill with a lady?
You would be surprised. And that's out of the messages I receive. How many men in the Arab world now, they go on a date and they ask for the 50-50.
Oh, really? No, that's new to me.
Man, that's shocking.
That's maybe the new generation.
Shocking.
That's probably the new generation.
While being with an Arab lady?
I don't think that will happen. Know. She'll throw him out of the window.
I'll give you a couple of real examples. A couple of ladies in my age, they're moms.
Yeah.
They were telling me about their kids and kids that are boys in the age of 17 years old. And both of them, they were saying the same thing. I'm so proud of my son, Because my son is not into dating, he's focusing on himself, developing himself, and he keeps telling me he doesn't want to waste money on girls, and I'm so proud of him. And I'm looking at the moms and saying, you know what, guys, your kids are heading into a disaster that you're not seeing.
Yeah.
This guy, in his mind, it's a waste of money to spend money on a woman. Could you imagine this guy who's going to manage his marriage later on?
Correct.
It will be an absolute disaster. And it seems it's a generational mindset. It's a problem because men are not men in the right sense. People assume manhood is about the muscles and being tough. And I know it's weird coming from me because I'm someone that focuses a lot on physical strength and fighting skills. But it's not about that. That's not what makes you a man. What makes you a man is your principles that you abide by.
Ethics.
Exactly, ethics. And your work.
Unfortunately, lots of women are not women anymore.
100%. And I'm telling you from social media, they all message me and say, we want a high caliber man. What can we do? This, that. But then, are they really ready to have a high caliber man?
Yeah.
A man that they need to listen to. A man that they need to respect. A man that they cannot challenge every single decision that he makes. If he tell them tomorrow I need to move a different country because I have a better business opportunity, they would move with him like that. If you're not ready for this, like you should not be even looking for a high caliber man. You should be looking for the 50-50 guy that will say yes to whatever you ask for, because this guy, like, he's not 100% into the relationship anyway.
True. True.
Doctor, for me, something really interesting, because, we've worked, a lot with you guys on selling your projects and all of that. And, we always see you on stage coming on and saying, sell, sell, sell. And most of the projects you've been associated with have been a sellout. I think you guys even got the Guinness world record in the fastest selling project. How much was the value?
10 billion, and we broke it again.
And you broke it again on DAMAC Island Phase 2. So for me, even being from the outside, because we're sales, I really want to understand the background, what happens before you launch, because there's a lot from like sourcing the land to the feasibility studies to, the segregation of the land into apartments, buildings, or villas or townhouses, coming up with a design and making it then, family living and community living and all of this. So I want to really know what happens, because I'm sure there's a lot of work and background before you guys even launch something. And how long does it take also?
You want how long it takes under normal conditions or with Mohammad Baydoun? There's a difference.
A bit of both.
Okay. Under normal conditions, usually you need like minimum 4 to 6 months to get a project ready for launch. Usually I prepare it in 4 weeks.
Okay, wow. Interesting.
Why? Because, look, you need to understand something. Development is a very rare specialty. And most of the people that work in development were originally consultant and shifted to development. And one of the few people I know that started in the development field since the moment I stepped my foot out of college, back in 2002. Now, back to your question. What are the complexities that comes behind the scenes? People see me on stage presenting, seeing the end product. And the problem is, particularly with most of the heads of the agencies, they assume their next step in the business value chain is to become developers. So it's as simple as buying a land, hiring a consultant, you design, you launch, you market. It's easy cheesy.
Yeah.
With all my due respect, those guys doesn't understand the complexity, and they don't know how much money they're leaving on the table because they don't have the right development experience. Let's start from purchasing the land. I'll give you one of the examples that are kind of known in the market. You have all the plots on Sheikh Zayed. We all know that those plots, they come with unlimited GFA. DDA decided...
GFA, gross floor area, how much you can build. Yeah,
exactly. Now, GFA is different than what you sell, by the way. Again, a bit of technical explanation. GFA is the gross floor area that you buy. All of the agents, they think that's equivalent to the sellable area. It's not true.
Correct, yeah.
Because you need to deduct from the GFA includes all the common areas, all the corridors, all the lobbies. MEPs, some of it doesn't count as part of the GFA.
Oh, good for you guys.
Yeah. So what you sell is the net internal area of the unit plus the balconies. So the higher the ratio of GFA to sellable, that means you're good. And the higher ratio of your sellable area to GFA, that's good. To make things more complex, you don't pay the contractor based neither the sellable area or the GFA.
What do you pay him on?
Based on built-up area.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
That includes all the parkings, podiums, basements. Those are neither part of the GFA nor part of the sellable area. Again, the higher the ratio of sellable to built up, you're in a better position. Now, of course, I'm simplifying things. To maximize those ratios, it requires a deep technical understanding and financial understanding of the development.
Is that what it's called? The FAR? Is that FAR?
FAR.
FAR, which is exactly what?
I cannot remember the actual answer because I did
Floor
not know.
area ratio.
Floor area ratio.
Correct.
Okay.
So when people go and want to buy a land, one of those on Sheikh Zayed, DDA changed the unlimited FAR to 48 FAR. So the seller would price his land accordingly. So let's say my land, I'm allowed to have 800,000 square foot. He thinks he's going to develop 800,000 square foot. It's not the case.
Yeah.
Why? You have other complexities. You have the complexity of the parking. For every unit, you need a minimum one parking. If it's an office, for every 50 square meter, you need one car parking space. So what happens is the other way around. Depending on the number of car parking spaces, you know how much GFA you can consume, which end up being like half of the GFA that's allowed. Completely different ballgame together, which ends up doubling your price per square foot on GFA basis. In many cases, some people will buy the land and end up maybe losing money. Why? Because they don't understand the technical complexity behind it. That's assuming we did all the steps and we bought it. Step number 2, we are designing the project, whether that's a community or a building. I'm going to take the example of a building for the sake of simplicity because the community comes with different set of complexities. Actually, I'm going to tell you a real story. One of the heads of the agencies, I'm not going to mention his name. I was at his office discussing a business deal and he was launching a project in a few days. He told me, "Doctor, I'd like to pick up your view on my design." Okay, with pleasure. He opened the files. I looked at his plans and I told him, "You know what? You're gonna have extra unnecessary, a minimum of 200 dirhams per square foot in terms of cost." He said, "What? Why?" Look at your corridors, how you sorted this out. If you have moved the score this way, you would have increased your efficiency. That's a minimum of 5%. And for every 1% of less efficiency, you're going to increasing your cost by around 30 dirhams. So that's 150 dirhams. And you have also put the pool on the last level, which is going to increase your live load on the project across the whole building. That's another 60, 70 dirhams. You have a minimum of 200 dirhams extra. And the guy became defensive. But no, it's a beautiful. I understand it's your project, but you're asking my view as an expert. Because for him, 200 dirham per square foot is tons of money.
Yeah, of course.
So that's why those guys, when they enter the development business and they think by hiring an architect, they are able to sort all of their problems, they're completely wrong. Because for the sake of simplicity, when people ask me, "What's your role as head of development?" I say, "I design project." I say that because many people will not understand the complexity. I don't just design the project. I design the projects. I make it the most efficient. I come up with the vision and the pitch. I come up with a very smart way by which I pick up the right finishes to have the right construction cost while increasing the margin, making the highest amount possible of money for the company while delivering the right product with the right quality to the customer. To achieve all of those variables and play with them and to reach the optimal level of quality, time, and cost, that requires tons of experience.
Yeah, of course. What do you call that? Value engineering, or that's value engineering is different?
No, I call it design optimization because value engineering is mostly about reducing areas in which you have extra costs that are unnecessary and optimizing the performance of few elements. But value engineering doesn't take into account the commercial side of things. It's mostly focused on the cost and the quality alone.
How many people are involved when you buy a plot of land and then you're doing a design of a building? How many people are involved in the design and who oversees it and all that kind of stuff? Because it's interesting to know, is it 5 people? Is it 1 person? How does it, how's the process and the idea that comes around?
Is it the design alone? Is it the technical validation? Is it the marketing side? Is it the sales side? Is it the costing side? Is it the pricing side? Because pricing is a separate story altogether also. Is it the construction management process or is it the handover process? Each one of those steps, you have a different teams. If you look at across the whole value chain for one project, the team will be easily in the range of if it's a big one. In the range of 200, 300 people involved.
Wow.
Yeah.
You see, people don't see that.
Yeah.
They don't think that's 200-300 people involved in that. It's massive.
Particularly, again, those new developers, because they enter the market and they think, yeah, we buy a plot, design it, sell it. And then what? How are you going to do the technical validation? Approvals from authorities? How you're going to pick up the best contractor? How do you know they're picking up the right contractor for your project? How are you going to manage him? How are you going to make sure that he's not fooling you in the process?
Yeah.
You're going to like, what's going to happen to the CRM, after sales service? How are you going to do the handover process? Then later on, when they face
You
those...
stay involved in all of this?
My role after the concept is a quality control.
Okay, but I wanted to ask you this. When does the role of Dr. Baydoun ends? And how do you measure whether you did the right thing or not?
Very good question. My biggest involvement is in the early stages.
Okay.
From the moment like we have a land, we decide if we want to buy it or not. After it's bought, the design, marketing pitch, feasibility study, identification of the specifications of the interior designs, the marketing collateral, till the moment you guys see me on stage presenting and pitching. After that, my role becomes a quality control.
Okay.
So when the technical team takes over the project, this is where they're gonna need my sign off on schematic and detailed design stages. And then when they want to select the material on site that are in line with the concept that we put at the beginning, they need my sign off on that. Quality control of not just the mock-up or units, but also of the control units. We create control units that are I sign off on, and then the contractor executes based on that. Up till handover, and also before handover, I send my team and I go in person to randomly check. Of course, I cannot check every single unit. We randomly check the units because you have also a CRM and project team responsible for that, but we enhance, or we have another layer of quality control to make sure that we're giving the customer the best possible product. Up after handover, this is where technically my role stops. But after that, even during facility management, when the project is handed over, for public areas, when they want to do enhancements, changes, they go back to me for that also.
What's like the most project that you worked on that you feel is kind of unique or, you know, interesting story? Because for me, I know I've heard you said Cavalli Couture is
True.
a very interesting project, but for me, Cavalli Tower in Dubai Marina for me is an interesting tower, because when you guys launched it was just like after COVID, and the way you guys did the design, that everything was front facing design, and then you got that pool in the middle with the huge walls. I'm sure you had a lot of like structural or foundational things that you had to overcome to develop such buildings. Like, do you have any challenges or anything that have come up that you remember that you guys had to go in and get involved and change and redesign and redo to fit the construction? Because I'm sure there's vision, and then there's design and what's being realistic, you know?
Actually, that project in particular was way more challenging than just the technical aspect.
Yeah. It's got pools in most of the apartments.
That wasn't even just the biggest challenge. The biggest challenge was, remember that back in 2021, after COVID, you didn't have the hype that you have in the market today.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you know that, but this is where I think we first met when I came to your office and we discussed the project. And your team came also, I gave them the brief. Yeah, I still remember your team came to the sales center. Because at that point in time, people didn't believe there is demand on such a product.
I think it's going to be a landmark tower when completed, to be honest.
And everyone was telling me the price is a palm price at that point in time. So why would people would pay that amount of money? And this is where I came up with a very interesting theory. I'm not sure if you remember it. Your guys must remember it. I told them, when you are in downtown of Dubai, which is more interesting, being inside of Burj Khalifa or living in a tower overlooking Burj Khalifa?
Yeah.
They said, no, at the periphery, because when you are inside of Burj Khalifa, you cannot look at it. I told them, okay, which is more interesting? To live inside of the palm or living on the edge of the palm where you can overlook it? That maybe it's better to live on the edge of the palm, particularly that you're not suffering from the traffic of the palm.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why this justifies the location. And people and the agents loved it. And that's why, okay, that's interesting. And that's what one of the pitch. I'm not sure if you remember, before I went up on stage in Royal Atlantis and presented the project, between Amira and me, we had checks for 25 floors before I even stepped my foot on the stage. And everyone went crazy after that. Everyone wants to buy it after we've done the launch. Back to the technical complexity, yes, we had multiple technical complexities because of the height, because of the water. So that's why we went through multiple structural optimizations and use of special construction techniques from one side to enhance or to reduce the size of the structure, and at the same time increase the speed of construction. That was one of the few projects in Dubai where we have used climbing molds. So those molds will climb. I've done a few reels about it, if you remember. And that helped us in going up one floor every 3 days rather than going for one floor every 7 days. So that slashed the construction speed by...
Another question, because, I've been to many of your presentations and to many DAMAC launches. And every launch that I go to DAMAC, and I'm sure you guys feel the same, it's like, wow, again? That? No way. They're not going to do that. It's impossible. Like Safa 1, Safa 2, all the stuff that you guys done. Like, who comes up with these ideas? And then, like, you're going to deliver it? I'm waiting to see. I know you delivered a lot of beautiful projects in the past. But the things that you guys have come up and the concepts, it's like you've like pushed the edge a lot further. And it will be quite exciting to see how they will be done and completed.
Look, first of all, DAMAC Lagoons is being handed over now. If you go to look at all of the amenities, you will see mixing and matching with everything that we've promised. Safa 1 is already advanced. Safa 2 is going up. And what we promised to the clients are already being under construction on site. Now, I'll give you now the trick behind this. There is a trick. The issue is not that simple. First of all, because of my strong technical background, when I come up with all of those crazy ideas, I know how technically it can be executed. Of course, I receive a lot of pushback from technical teams, from project management team, because I make their life a living hell. I make things too complex for them. And they try to make it simpler for them. It's the human nature. But because I know, although I'm an architect, I'm highly knowledgeable in structure and in MEP, I know how to push back and I give them actual solutions on how the designs can be executed. That's one aspect. The other aspect is the storyline. If I sit with you on any of those amenities and I break it down into simple structural element, it's very simple.
Okay.
But the thing is the way I wrap it together and the way the storyline I come up with, people find it extremely wow.
Yeah, exactly.
But if one time we can do that for the sake of the fun, you pick up any amenity that you want, super complex, and I sit with you and I show you how technically it's way simpler than you know. And you feel it's wow because of two things, because of the visual addition that I've put on it and because of the storyline that I came up with.
I mean, why I asked you that? Because I've been in the industry for 20 years in Dubai selling real estate. And, the developments before in Dubai, all of them, okay, you got the pool, you got the gym, you got the sauna, you got the fitness. It's better than most countries around the world, better than actually all countries around the world. But Dubai in the last 4 or 5 years, especially DAMAC, they've really taken it, not just a notch, like really far away. And it's really exciting to see it when it's all going to be completed. Absolutely. And it's going to change world living to a different level. I'm not talking about the communities. I'm talking particularly on the buildings.
The buildings.
Communities, I can understand. There's land. You can develop these parks, the lagoons, the waterways. It's kind of reasonable. But in Safa 1 and Safa 2, you've got raining shower in the roof and all of that.
They're all iconic buildings.
They're iconic buildings. And I don't think we've had any buildings like that in the past. So I think what's going to be delivered in the next coming years is going to be world changing.
100%. And again, the trick is in the technicalities. That's what makes or breaks any idea. By the way, not just in the development, in anything in life. Anyone can come up with a crazy idea, right? But the ChatGPT can come up with a crazy idea.
Implementing it and doing it and
making
delivering it.
That's the trick. And knowing the tech. But the only way to make it happen is the technicality behind it. As one of the examples, I'm not sure if you remember before COVID, you remember when we launched the a la carte villas?
Yeah.
The first custom-made real estate. When I came up with it, everyone told me, you are absolutely mad. It's impossible. You know how I came up with the idea? You were not going to believe it. I was having a shower. I swear to God, I was having a shower and the idea just lit in my mind. The moment I went on the shower, I sketched it, and it was a Sunday, still remember. I was burning till it's Monday morning to sit off my guys and explain the idea to them. Then the first thing I've done in the morning, 8:30, I said, come guys, I have this crazy idea. My team looked at me, she told me, doctor, nah, it's not going to happen. It's unrealistic. Then I sat and explained to them the technical sophistication behind it and how you can have multiple layouts applicable within the same structure and the same and the same plot dimension, and then they get it. They said, okay, fine, we're convinced, but how are you going to convince the whole company to do it? Now leave it to me. Then I have to go through the whole 9 yards, convincing Amira, convincing Hossein Sajwani, then convincing the technical team, project management, and then we went live with it.
Nice.
It's a very interesting subject, and honestly, thanks, Luay, for bringing this up, because we really want to know more about the whole behind the scenes. And I would like to ask you one question. You've been for a while with DAMAC, right?
8 years.
8 years now. What is your favorite project? What is a project that we say, this is my favorite?
Look, Couture currently, I would say it's my favorite, although like Lagoons has a special place in my heart.
Why?
Because that's the project that made me a real estate persona.
The video, I guess.
The video, yeah. It was a lifetime changer.
Yeah. And you know, by the way, the DAMAC Lagoons was an interesting project for me too. It actually boosted the market. When you guys launched it, it was the largest townhouse project.
Yeah.
And I think because of the sellout and everything, it was like after COVID, it pushed the market. So thanks to the DAMAC Lagoons for that too.
Absolutely.
So, but Couture for me is special. It's because that's currently the highest positioned project we have in DAMAC. I think it's the history of DAMAC, maybe the highest positioned project. Very exclusive. The product itself, I believe it has finishes and design that's extremely unique. And at the same time, I believe people are not understanding the value of this project till it gets handed over.
They're going to lose out, because that neighborhood as a whole is just priceless.
Yeah.
Forget, like I don't know why people call it Billionaires Row, but it's a really nice, well located.
You know that I invested
low
this
density,
term, right? The Billionaire Row.
Sure,
I invented this term.
Really? Yeah, they kept calling this road in Business Bay Billionaires Row and Trillionaire Row. But I mean, the neighborhood at the end, low density, low rise buildings, not so many apartments.
And look at the units that are being handed over. Yeah. Like in Cipriani, Four Seasons, it's transacting at 15,000 dirham per square foot.
Yeah.
And with all my due respect, I don't have anything against anyone. But I think we can all agree that Mr. C project is very basic.
I agree.
It's like there's nothing special about it. And imagine when you provide something that 10 times better, and the price is currently like 1/3 of the secondary market price. I think it's a no-brainer, man.
True.
Very, very, very interesting subject. I believe that the three of us would love to elaborate even more and more on this. Unfortunately, the guys behind the camera are telling us that we need to wrap up.
I have one more question.
Okay. And I wanted to actually ask Dr. Baydoun if we can actually have him again with us, because there is a lot that we can talk about, and it would be very interesting.
Next time with a swimsuit.
His choice.
We'll do it in a pool.
His choice.
No, what I wanted to ask was the future of architectural and construction changes, because I just saw the other day they built a tower in Abu Dhabi, and it's a short period. You're using modular homes. They come in and they build a building like, I don't know, it's a G+10 or 18 or something. And I wanted to understand, what is the future of development, future properties using, I don't know, new forms of technology or AI or modular homes or
robotic
whatever.
now,
or robotic,
like robots,
I mean, you're in the field, so you already probably are prepared to what's going on. I just wanted to understand that. What's the future looking at for architectural construction and development?
I think there's going to be a democratization for architecture. In which sense? When you go for the common products, let's say simple townhouses, simple buildings, those can be easily now produced in terms of modules and being installed. Now, also, there is something that you need to look at deeper. Although this project has been, the one that you're referring to in Abu Dhabi, has been executed or constructed in 15 days, but it didn't take 15 days. So because...
Put together 15 days.
Yeah, because there's production process. You need months. Maybe a year before that to produce all the modules needed. Then you implement it. Then you assemble it.
You put it together.
So the number is a bit misleading.
So assembling is the 15 days.
Okay. Exactly. Yeah. That's one. Second, those modules that are efficient and effective for conventional products. Let's say affordable / low income products, which is same building, repetitive. You don't have much leeway to play around with the facades. But project as an example, a couture by Cavalli, you cannot
Of course,
fabricate it offsite. And so what will happen is that I believe AI is going to create a huge gap in terms of wealth in people. People are going to be losing. Some people are going to be losing their job. They're going to have a hard time in having food to eat, and some people are going to become ultra wealthy, rich. I think the same is going to happen in development. You have certain products that become accessible to the mass, and some products will become even more expensive. Why? Because those cannot be produced via AI, and that's why the prices of those properties will become way higher, and because it's going to be more scarce.
True.
Completely agree. And inflation and devaluation
100%.
and everything.
And real estate will always be a thing. Stocks can go up and down. Gold will go up and down. Real estate is called real for a reason. Whatever is going to happen in life, you need a place to live in. And actually, with the AI progress, I think the demand on properties will increase, by the way. I'll tell you why. Because nowadays, people use their homes just for sleeping, right? Now, with the use of AI, when you can work online or create businesses online, people are going to be spending more time at home.
Yeah.
So people will be upgrading their houses even further, and they want bigger houses because that's going to become their kingdom.
Very interesting.
It's going to be disruptive 5 to 10, 15 years.
Yes.
Are we going to see a Baydoun, the half robot, half human?
You never know.
Dr. Baydoun, thank you very much for unplugging this episode with us.
My pleasure.
This was an amazing conversation. Luay, Hisham, of course, thanks.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
for
thank you
coming.
very much.
Thank
Very
you, guys.
Insightful.
My pleasure.
Any message for for dating in Dubai? Any message that you want to look at the camera and say something for the people? Your camera is right there.
Don't just focus on the facade. Look what's behind the facade. Many beautiful facades are available in Dubai, but kind hearts are very rare. Look for the kind heart.
That's a great message. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wow, love it.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, and please give us all your comments.